New year, new me, new draft, new content. But new doesn't mean better.
New. I've never at any point suggested that new means better.
New insecurities, new time wastes, new trends.
New misplays.
Welcome to a new video to new content on this channel. My name is Keith, and look, to be honest, I think he's been in like probably my last like 6 or 7 videos.
I don't believe I was in your last 6 or 7 videos.
Well, you've probably been in every video I made in 2021, which was like
I'm pretty sure I was not in many of the videos you made in 2021.
I'd made like 4.
I know you made a bunch of PRs without me because you are a hater and a coward.
I do despise you. Anyway,
and a traitor.
Because, so, you know, I have to go back to work tomorrow morning. I did open a can there. It is of Diet Coke. It's fine. But I have to go back to work tomorrow morning for the first time this year. And I'm having a bit of a breakdown, so okay. I thought, you know what?
You made 2 videos last year, and I may have actually been in both. No, I don't think I was in one of them. No, I was on that one. Yeah, okay. And then was I in the other one?
Probably.
I'm fact checking. I can't believe you only released 2 videos last year, because you definitely released more. With...
So, having a full-time job instead of one where I only work like every second day.
Yeah, but the most recent videos you released before that were the Kitchen Table podcast.
Yeah,
which
because
I definitely was not in.
Yeah, because I ran out of time to organize that shit. It's a lot easier to organize that shit and edit that shit. Anyway.
Podcasts are a lot easier to do when you don't have to edit them.
Yeah, so anyway, yeah, I'm having a breakdown, so I've decided to have a draft, transpose my breakdown and delay the inevitable of me having to go the fuck to sleep and go the fuck back to my shitty job tomorrow. Because it's going great. Anyway, this is my first, like, proper league draft of Gen 9. It's the Wigglytuff Battle Guild, WBG. Season Guardian 7.
Guardian 7.
I believe that's supposed to be Season 7 Guardian. But whatever, it's Season Guardian 7, the Backyardigans, you know? Yeah, so we've got, you know, I've decided to just steal the art from the Pokemon Explorer series, because it's based off of them.
Yeah, it's all based off.
The WBG, Wigglytuff Battle Guild, that's what it's based off, so,
it's not based off of it's a spin-off. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so anyway, it's a VGC league, so it's VGC,
a singles light league. They ran a Paldea Dex one and didn't decrease the points cap to factor in the fact that there are a lot less Pokemon. So like every Pokemon, I think above 8 points has been drafted. But, like no fucking Pokemon 7 points or lower, and everyone has like 30 spare points because they should have had like 40 less points.
Yeah, anyway. That's funny. That happens in early gens.
But it happens when you just don't think it through.
But anyway,
draft.
Yeah, with the New World Order Kingdras, because that's my VGC team, and yeah, it's Paldea
Wait,
Dex.
New World Order Kingdras is your VGC team?
That's right, yeah.
It certainly didn't debut as your VGC team.
I think it did.
Pretty sure it debuted in SPT.
Maybe. Regardless, that's what it is now, and
live fact checking.
I'm getting Twitter fact checked. But yeah, it's like Season 1 VGC rules, so basically Pokemon have to be in the deck, so the actual pool of Pokemon possible is fucking tiny.
It was the World Pokemon Federation low tier.
Oh,
it definitely was in.
Regardless,
I don't see anything before that.
Regardless, it's crazy how you could find that out so quickly. Regardless, yeah, basically we've just got
a bunch of YouTube channel.
We've just got a bunch
of draft breakdown.
We've just got a bunch of basically it's only what's in the Paldea Dex and none of the Paradox Pokemon, none of the Ruin Pokemon, none of the Legendaries, and like they're just Pokemon you can technically get like regular Wooper and Mawile and stuff that don't have a Pokedex.
So Quagsire.
Yeah, Quagsire.
Charizard, subsequent to the draft, Cinderace. And I think you can do the Alolan version as well. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, but regardless...
I've seen it.
Yeah. Regardless, you couldn't draft any of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's not that many Pokemon.
Despite your best attempts.
Yeah, we'll get to that later. So
I don't actually know how that Pokemon is in the game. I'll have to check that out.
Well, no, regardless, so for my first choice, I think I was like 6th or something. And I was...
It was 8-person pools, and
I was like
you
4th.
were 6th?
No, I think it was 4th.
You definitely weren't 4th, because I wasn't 2nd, and you were 1 person after me.
I thought you were like 3rd or something. Maybe it was 5th. Regardless, basically I was thinking, I went to my good friend, a very good friend of mine, and I'm like, okay, sir, I'm debating whether or not to get Dragonite or Hydreigon as my pick. What do you think? Then, you know what that very good friend did? He immediately picked Dragonite. He immediately picked Dragonite, and then basically said,
Dragonite.
well, my decision was made, so my first pick was Hydreigon. Now, Mr. Electric, if a friend of yours just basically saw, I'm deciding between this, and then you decided to be a dickhead and take one, how would you react? Because, you know, he's the one who did it to me.
You telling me that they should go subscribe to my channel if that was a dick move? I'm pretty sure that's what the...
yeah, so that's what happened. Electric's first one was Dragonite. Electric's first one... Your first one...
Yeah. Oh, have you not gone to... You've gone to the slide. I can see that you have.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's a Hydreigon, and this is Quill the Star-Lord, and famously, he has these elemental guns. The guns shoot different elements, and that's what each of the heads of Hydreigon does. One of them tears Poison and clicks Terra Blast. One of them tears Steel and clicks Flash Cannon. One of them tears Fire and clicks Heat Wave. So that's why you thought that was such a fitting trio.
Sure, why not?
I'm gonna have to import actual comic book knowledge to this thing that you picked, and apparently you have to Google some of the names of characters.
Yes, I do. Because it was Guardians, and I'm like, oh, Guardians of the Galaxy theme. Fuck it, that's nice. I've seen the movies.
I named one of my characters after a backyardigan. That's what I did.
So yeah, Hydreigon. It's really good in this format.
Hydreigon, yeah, it's good. Yeah. It's got great physical and special moves. I don't know why you don't have their stats or something on the screen.
People know Hydreigon stats, but yeah, maybe.
But yeah, so it's got a really good physical and special move pool. It has Levitate, which has got really good synergy with Terra because you can still be immune to a weakness.
Yeah, and also specifically a lot of the types that it wants to Terra into, like you said Steel, like you said Terra Poison, and also Terra Steel.
So the reason it tears it, but the reason it tears into those is because it has Levitate.
Yeah, but exactly.
But other Pokemon that have similar typings to Hydreigon, but not Levitate, don't tear it in.
Yeah, but
I think it tears into them because of Levitate.
Yeah, but it also does give a tremendous synergy. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It does help the All Resist Fairy.
Yeah, it's actually really
Fairy Ground is
good.
a very good combination, and being able to check both of them is also good.
Yeah, it's got a good...
Poison is specifically good because it gives you the fighting resist. However, it's really been falling out of favor in Standard because it doesn't have the offensive potential that Flash Cannon and Heat Wave do. You often don't want to run Terra Blast because Hydreigon certainly doesn't always Terra. It has a really good typing already.
Yeah.
With Dark Dragon. And it's strong. Draco's strong. Snarl's strong. Dark Pulse is okay.
It's got Tailwind.
It's got Tailwind in this format, which is good.
Yeah.
That's had that since Gen 7.
Yeah, it's got a few cool little tricks.
No, there's another thing I was trying to say. It's got Taunt. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, Nasty Block.
Oh, and most importantly, Tri-Attack. Because it shoots elements from its guns. Yeah, so basically, I'm like, that's a pretty good starter, you know.
It's a very strong Pokemon.
Fortunately, I didn't have someone who I thought was my friend ready to snipe my second pick from me because of how the system works. You didn't have a second pick
until it got to you.
Shut up. But that second pick, that I'm sure my co-commentator is completely disappointed that he didn't steal, is Indeedee female.
I would have been really anti-synergistic with my first pick of Dragonite.
You would have done it just to ruin me. Yeah.
I don't even know who you are.
Indeedee female, yeah, so Indeedee.
So recently revealed as of the Guardians Christmas special, Indeedee female is apparently Star-Lord's sister.
Oh, really? There you go. Good on you.
Movies, which, I mean, it makes sense. It fits with her introduction.
Yeah.
Why she was with Ego in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Have you watched the movies? I don't know.
Yeah, I have watched the movies.
Okay, sorry.
I have watched Guardians
No.
1 many a time. Like anything.
You're always more of a DC film fan, right? You know,
No.
I'd love to
No.
hear your perspective on Wonder Woman, 1980. It was 84, wasn't it? Like, not like it was a meme. It was actually just 84.
I think it was 1984.
You really liked you really liked fucking the furry chick because she was a furry. I remember we were in the cinema and I kept having to get to whacking you just
low key. It is very funny that he's like, oh, I want to be a perfect. She's like, I want to be a perfect being. And he's like, I can make you into that, and then he made her a furry. No, I think it's just pushing some agendas there at the
historical game, by the way. Mantis can put people to sleep, and I do sleep whenever my opponent puts up the psychic terrain. It's like a weak version of Bruxish now that expanding force is very limited in distribution.
Yeah, that's true. Look,
Follow Me is very, 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 very good.
Yeah, Follow Me.
There's no way to stop it getting a Follow Me off, and when you have a lot of setup Pokemon, that's pretty strong.
Yeah. In fact, I think it's pretty darn strong. And
it's also very immediately strong. Psychic with 1.3x boost is pretty good.
Yeah, even with its like 95 special attack, it's still gonna like wreck people.
One of which is Bug, and the other one is Dark.
Yeah, and Dark's resisted by Hydreigon. I don't know, just sort of nice support. As long as I don't get nothing but priority coming up, everything should be fine.
Struggle Bug.
Oh, look out!
You've got no chance.
I don't. In fact,
by the way, all of the 3 fairy resists types all resist Bug because you don't want Bug to be usable.
Yeah, Bugs. It's sad how useful Bug is. But I was terrified.
It's pretty good.
Personally,
your next Pokemon is a Pokemon that terrors into Bug commonly.
No, personally, I was terrified of Bug, which is why I got something to quad resist Bug. Ceruledge? I don't know how to pronounce this. Ceruledge?
Cerulean, and then Edge, so Ceruledge.
Ceruledge, there we go. Yeah.
Can you dig it? That was the joke that I used in my video that I think is already out.
I need to draft at least one new Pokemon.
Came out early today.
So I drafted this one. That's okay.
That's pretty good. It's very good.
It's got weak armor.
Got Bit of Blade,
cool.
which is a signature ability move that is.
It's like Fire type Leech Life.
Leech Life.
Yeah.
The Fire type. Sneak, Shadow Claw.
It's got weak armor.
CC.
It's just
Bulk Up and Sword Dance.
God, it's got it.
So it's pretty good with Indeedee.
Yeah, and we were talking about this before, but Fire Ghost is one of the best defensive combinations around, really.
Were we talking about this before?
Yeah, we were, when we were talking about Ceruledge.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's not... you said that in a very confusing way. We were talking about the Gen 5 starter.
Yeah.
The Gen 9 starter? Gen 9 starter.
Yeah.
Skilledurge,
that's it. Yeah, basically, I don't know, just seemed pretty good. And again, quad resist Bug, so ooh.
Yeah, this mon doesn't lose to Struggle Bug.
Yeah, exactly. It's yeah.
85 speed, just because people will not know these mons as well. We figured that after one 85 speed Pokemon, the next thing to do is immediately get another 85 speed Pokemon. And after the first Pokemon shut down priority, the first thing to do is to get a Pokemon that uses priority very effectively.
Yeah, basically. Because it's all...
It doesn't actually need priority at all.
No, it's pretty strong. Like, you know, just a pretty good threat in general.
A lot of priority.
Yeah, so...
No, I think one of the main things you do with Indeedee is you run, like... You could run Psychic Seed on this and then bulk up, and then you'll have boosted special defense and be boosting a physical defense. And combine that with a bit of Blade, you have very good survivability.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Come on.
Yeah.
It's very strong Pokemon.
Yep. I agree. Yeah, good
strong Pokemon.
Yeah, speaking of strong Pokemon, the next Pokemon is Azumarill, Groot. Because, you know... Groot, yes, it is Groot. It wasn't originally Groot, but I've had to change it for just something you'll see later. Yeah, very powerful Pokemon. In fact, I'd say it's hugely powerful. Now, yes, I understand I have Psychic Terrain. Yes, I understand.
It functions in Trick Room.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. That's kind of why I wanted it, because functions in Trick Room. Oh yeah, and DDF got Trick Room as well this gen, which is pretty big.
Yeah, it's pretty. This did lose expanding force though.
Yeah, but
getting access to Trick Room, because in Terror Raids, it has Trick Room, and so the Terror Raid event one has Trick Room.
So, yeah, we've got Azumarill. It's a good Trick Room threat. It's got a lot of power. That's nice.
Makes it difficult to get 0 speed IV Trick Room, Indeedee female. And yet, Jenna's like Mr. Sheath Galvin. We'll have them anyway.
I'm just that good. I am just that good.
You didn't catch that Pokemon that you were using in Smogon.
I did.
You didn't. You didn't legitimately catch it.
But I did though.
I don't believe you.
You can't prove it.
I can. I put a keylogger in your Switch.
Why?
Just got bored.
Yeah, fair enough.
Not what to do up north.
I don't know. Yeah, it's Azumarill. Like everyone knows what Azumarill does. It's strong. It's got Aqua Jet.
Yeah, it's Parasong.
Yeah, it does. Does it have Parasong in this format?
Yes.
Oh, there you go. So it's Parasong user. That's kind of cute.
There are relatively few Parasong users. I am fairly certain it is one of them.
The other Parasong users, I've just checked the database. Altaria.
What? Gengar, Hodgecrow,
Altaria,
yeah, Mismagius, Cricketune,
Wigglytuff,
and Murkrow.
Yep.
Also, I think Screamtail gets it.
Yeah, and Fluttermane, but
Fluttermane, yeah,
they're not legal.
Like the related Pokemon. No, one Pokemon that didn't get it that I expected to was a Ceruledge. I expected Ceruledge to get it because it's a music Pokemon, so it has Torch Song but not Parasong. So weird.
Tragic.
That means that the one of the Pokemon that I anticipate have the highest kill rates on the team is Igglybuff.
Yep.
It's got
anyway,
a few moves that can reliably kill through Sturdy.
Anyway, yeah, it's Azumarill. I don't know what else to really say at this point. It's just I drafted Azumarill.
That's true. You did. We bought Azumarill.
Yeah, and so then from there, I kinda needed a Steel type after I got my Fairy, and I also wanted another Trick Room threat. So my fourth Pokemon was I went to the well that I always go to, and it's always Copperajah, Drax the Destroyer. I fucking
upon the Gigantamax form specifically. I remember you telling me how you felt about the Gigantamax form that one evening. It was told to me in confidence, so I will not elaborate on it in the public setting.
I want to talk about.
I want to say there were some very colourful descriptions of how they could use their Steel Spike.
I want to talk about how much I love Copperajah in VGC. It's fucking great. It's the best.
It's really good.
I love this one. Underrated. Yeah, I've brought it special a lot. Obviously, you bring a physical a lot. Yeah, it's strong. It's got a lot of coverage. It did lose Power Whip,
and it's actually slow. It's not like randomly 40 speed. It's an actual 30 speed.
Yeah,
good.
It's bulky enough, really. At the end of the day, it's just it does good work.
Yep, good on you, Dabra.
Yeah. I honestly think this one's hella slapped on by a lot of people. It's
slept on. Sorry.
Yeah.
I think you said slapped on for a second.
No, slept on.
Slapped on. I'm on that like fourth, fifth.
Way too low in so many. It's just broken.
It's I mean, it's reliable. Yeah. It's not like I don't think it's broken. It's very reliable.
It's not broken. It's glue. Yeah.
I don't know. It's actually not glue.
It's glue.
Glue thing. Like in singles, it could be glue because it's got rocks.
It's glue.
It's not glue in WBG.
No, it's glue. It's got Steel Spike, except it doesn't anymore.
it only ever had that.
I'm actually kind of shocked that they didn't bring it as they didn't make it a move just for it. You know what I mean? Like an exclusive.
Do you know why? I'm not shocked because they didn't make that in like the actual game, so I don't know why they wouldn't. Why they would in subsequent generations.
Fair.
Like what they did it with Clangorous Soul Blaze into Clangorous Soul. That's the only move I can think of that ever got treated like that, and that wasn't.
I swear there might have been
forgetting something.
I swear there's
they made
one,
the
but it's not
G-Max
coming to
Metal
me.
move into Torment.
Anyway,
there wasn't like a Spikes or other type hazard, like Spikes, Toxic Spikes, or Sticky Web. As Max has it, just rocks and Steel Spike. So I just figured it was an amalgamation of the other ones. So they should give it all of them, especially webs.
Definitely webs. Anyway, at this point I kind of realized I had a lot of points. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna spend them.
Speed control.
I don't need some speed control. And I had a really good, Trick Room Pokemon. I'm
also,
you know
Drax the Destroyer, because you're racist and they're both green.
That's got nothing to do with, Copperajah will fucking destroy you. But yeah.
Okay.
We needed, I needed some speed control.
To the
and I got
finger on
Talonflame, Milano.
Milano is the ship.
Yeah, Milano's the name of the ship.
I knew this, but I think you said you found it out from Google.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, because this is the speed control. It makes sense that it's the ship. Yeah, we just speeds Tailwind, really effective.
Where's Thought?
It can set Tailwind and stuff in Trick Room regardless, which is pretty cool. It's it's Talonflame. It's got a decent offensive profile. It doesn't have incredibly high attacking stats.
Moltres with 81 attack.
Yeah.
Compared to Moltres' I think 95. Maybe 100.
But look, no one's ready for the physical Moltres, despite. I think I've only seen you and I think me once run physical Moltres.
It does have 100 attack. It's got more attack than Zapdos, and Zapdos runs Brave Bird.
I think I've only seen
physical Moltres in VGC mostly.
Yeah.
Only occasionally.
I've run it
singles.
When you've told me to.
It's really good with the choice back, but it was really good. It's good. The best thing about it is you don't miss it with S-Line.
Yeah.
Because 125 special attack, 100 attack.
But let's not talk about a Pokemon that we don't have that isn't legal.
Yeah, 81 attack is lower than Amoonguss, right?
Yeah, but Amoonguss has surprisingly high attack, to be fair. But
Spartacuno's attack stat? I don't think it learns Brave Bird. I think I've checked. It's got 85, so that's more than this.
Regardless,
it does learn Brave Bird. Why haven't we been running Battle? Probably because it doesn't learn fucking Ice. It learns Ice Spin at this gen though.
Anyway, Talonflame, look, it's got high speed, it's got Tailwind, it's got access to priority once at full HP, like Brave Bird or whatever. It's also just got Will-O-Wisp, Taunt, Flare Blitz, Quick Guard, just some nice, decent moves. Yeah, just a grab bag support option and kind of really solidified the Tail Room team that I kind of wanted to draft the entire time. Yeah. What do you think?
I think Talonflame's Wisp and stuff like Heatwave are all pretty solid.
Yeah. We can run Thief for some reason. That's honestly might be. Yeah, but yeah, that's it really. Decent Pokemon. Now then, the next Pokemon I wanted to get. I wanted
Pokemon that was terrible in Psychic Terrain.
Yes, well.
Actually, good in Psychic Terrain. We're saying terrible for the purpose of it up.
Yeah, well, look, I wanted another Trick Room setter.
Yep, you wanted a secondary Trick Room setter.
Yeah, and I
that wasn't weak to bug.
Yeah, and I
that's
also
a relatively limited group.
And I also kind of thought another Fake Out could be nice.
Another Fake Out? You don't have one yet. Oh, you guess you do, Indeedee. That's
right. So one that isn't going to be setting terrain. So I decided to get Medicham, which is Gamora. Yeah. So I have two.
Shiny is. Oh wait, it's because Shiny, which is like the alternate Gamora. The alternate Medicham is blue, and Gamora is played by Zoe Saldana, who's also famously whoever the Na'vi chick from Avatar is. I cannot remember her name for the life of me.
Sigourney Weaver.
Sigourney Weaver. What?
No.
Sigourney Weaver wasn't in either of the Avatars. Was she? Oh no, she wasn't she?
Yeah.
But she's also an actress, not a big character.
I know.
Oh, the actual Avatar.
Yeah, so basically, I have my second Pure Power / Huge Power Mon, which is kind of cool.
Did you hear? Apparently, they have the kids in the sequel movie, and the kids are played by white people instead of
Yeah.
They're like And I thought the original thing was, some white saber bullshit, and then James Cameron is like, you don't know the half. Anyways, Medicham is a funny guy. He has the bullet punch.
It's got some priority, which I guess doesn't work great with us. But has
Earthquake next to it with a Garchomp with telepathy, and I clicked Psychic into Gamora, and it did like 60%. It was very funny.
That's cute.
But in Psychic terrain, like Scarf's End's pretty strong. Sacred Cut as well.
Yeah, and again, it does have Trick Room. It does have Fake Out. It's actually got some. Yeah, I think it's got. Does it have coaching? Is that a move? No, it doesn't.
Not in this format. I think there's like one Pokemon that's not released yet that learns it at a level 1.
Okay, yeah. It's got Feint, that sort of thing. Like, it's got a pretty strong Feint. It's just got some decent options. It's got the elemental punches. Yeah.
Which are very good. On it specifically, most Pokemon they are not good on, but they did also add that item that is both protective pads and a boosting item for elemental punches.
Yeah.
It's access to Bulk Up and Calm Mind, but it's relatively frail, even though it does have recovery, as well as very strong drain punches.
Yeah,
it's got a pretty competent offensive profile, especially if you Terra it into a type that it synergizes with.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it does a lot of damage.
It was just a pretty nice threat, and it was pretty cheap.
Offensively, its best synergy type is Ghost, but defensively, it's already weak to Ghost, so it doesn't want to turn into a Ghost type.
Yeah. If it did, and then it gets hit with a Ghost move, it might turn into a Ghost itself.
Yeah, well, actually, turn into a Ghost.
But
you need to make like Pokemon Gen, where all original forms are just Pokemon that died.
Speaking of Pokemon that die, I know why I've said with this next one.
Is that spoilers for the Christmas special?
Yes, the spoilers for the. I don't know. I don't know. I got Raichu, Rocket Raccoon.
I don't know what
it's a Raccoon.
Christmas is, but Christmas time is
Raichu is like one of the fastest screen setters in the. Basically, I just wanted kind of more support, so I have another Fake Out Mon. It's one of the fastest sort of.
It's the second fastest screen setter in the format.
Yeah, it's got Lightning Rod, which like I'm not incredibly weak to electric attacks, but it's still
you have 2
nice.
electric weaknesses and 1 electric resist.
Yeah, it's nice to have.
Well, I suppose this would be a secondary electric resist.
Yeah, it's got.
It absorbs your own Thunder Punches to get +1 special attack.
Yes,
it's got extreme speed, so you can be Dragonite.
Yeah.
Attack. It's not a bad extreme speed user.
It does have an eye attack. There you go.
It's the same attack and special attack. It's the same reason Pikachu would. No, it doesn't have extreme speed. I forgot. It doesn't have extreme speed in this format.
To me.
I'm sorry. Unless it does and Pikachu just doesn't, but I know Pikachu doesn't.
Yeah, but like I don't know, it just seemed like a pretty decent Pokemon. It can spam like Nozzle and stuff like that. Yeah.
Apparently Pikachu only gets it from a Gen 5 event. Oh, it got it last gen, but I can just be. Apparently, I'm just wrong.
Well,
they just
you're often wrong.
Was that the Rayquaza related event?
I gotta be honest, I don't know. But yeah, then basically I kind of needed to round it off with 2 more Pokemon. I needed a ground type, so I decided I would go for one that can kind of sort of function in Trick Room, and probably kind of in Tail Room if you want to make it offensive, but not nearly as well. That's Donphan, aka Yondu. Donphan, let me tell you, I actually think Donphan's sick this gen.
Also, I just realized you don't have a Cranklin, but you have a Milano?
Yes.
You don't have a Taserface.
Spoilers. Yeah, I don't know. I like Donphan this gen. It's like a worse Mamoswine.
That's how it's done.
That's just really how you put it.
Worse? No. That's a false assertion.
Okay.
I've seen no evidence of that. It's a Mamoswine, which is only weak to some of Mamoswine's weaknesses at one time. Has access to Sturdy. It's got 50 speed, so it functions better in Trick Room.
Basically, just it getting like it like having high horsepower and Ice Spinner and Ice Shard really make it actually good.
Distribution of high horsepower.
Yeah, there's not many horses this gen.
It was Erica's ace.
They de-horsified a lot of Pokemon. You know, your boy Copperajah still has it though.
It was our most stalwart horse.
I have most of the horse I have 2.
Super horse Pokemon. You have 2. Like 12.
There are 5 lines that get high horsepower, and I've got 2 of them.
5 lines that get high horsepower.
There's Copperajah, Donphan, and then Clorf, Mudsdale, and Ursaring.
Okay, and Clorf, Mudsdale, and Ursaring got them. I thought one of the Paradox Pokemon also got.
Nope.
But I suppose not.
Anyway, yeah.
But yeah, there's no Snorlax, which is
this functions pretty well.
In fact, it's very good.
Yeah,
very glad there's no Snorlax or Clefairy.
This Pokemon functions pretty okay, and Trick-Room can kind of function in Tailwind. It's actually pretty strong for how cheap it was. Slide. Yeah, it's got 120 attack.
Knockoff, which is a very limited distribution in this format.
It's just kind of got...
I don't think Raichu even wants knockoff in this format.
I don't think it does either. It's just got a lot of good, a good grab bag of tricks that I think my team really appreciated. It's got like
solid mod.
Yeah, it's got some pretty good moves to it. And then last but probably least is Glaceon, Cosmo.
No. It's the greatest Pokemon that everyone has slept on.
What?
Because it's got Bolt Beam Stab, and it's got 130 special attack, guys. Didn't you know that? And Snow gives it plus defense, which means it doesn't have Bolt Beam Stab. So
yeah,
really, there's just never been a Pokemon quite like Water Pulse McGee over here.
Glaceon had Icy Wind, which is kind of neat. It's got a lot of power. It can kind of, sort of, maybe in some matchups function as an offensive piece.
It's really good because with Tailwind off and an Icy Wind off, it might actually outspeed their faster Pokemon.
It just Stab Blizzards are fine. Really, at the end of the day, I was just kind of looking for some more cheap offensive pieces.
Ice Shard.
Yeah. Because I had some pretty decent, like, high-tier support and stuff like that, so I just wanted some cheaper things that can function with that support, and I thought...
Rock, Bleak Armor, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
It's interesting, the idea of, like, Terra Grass is not uncommon on Ceruledge, and then side Ice Sharding it, so that you get the Weakness Policy Weak Armor off. It's an option.
That is pretty cool.
It's an option.
Yeah, but that's basically, I was trying to get offensive pieces.
It, though. Well, certainly with Azumarill, but if you were Sap Zipper, it might be okay.
Or Thick Fat. But then, I'm kind of looking at this team.
Is that all on Ninetales and Sylveon?
I think so. I don't know why, but...
This is from a mod.
Yeah, probably. It just kind of... I just thought it looked nice.
Are you a dishonest person who would
I just thought it looked nice.
Modded content, which is illegal?
No, Sylveon and Ninetales Alola were both in Gen 4. You're an idiot if you think otherwise. But
Sylveon and Ninetales, everyone knows that they only ever released Red Rescue Team.
No, the Gen 4 one was good.
Danganronpa and then forgot how to make video games.
The Gen 4 one was good.
What is Spike Chunsoft's latest video game? I know they've done other stuff. Obviously, they've done plenty of other.
Of course, they made Danganronpa and they forgot how to make video games. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, well, the thing is, they also did Zero Escape, right? Which is just Danganronpa, but mid instead of bad.
Yeah. Hey, Danganronpa's fine. It's decent. I like Danganronpa. I'll defend it. But yeah, so here's the problem with this team.
The most recent video game they've released is Maiden Abyss, Binary Star Falling into Darkness.
Well, there you go.
Didn't know there was a Maiden
Abyss. I did see a bit of a problem with this team. So we said a lot of the time, it can run,
Wait, they released a new Danganronpa video game?
No, they didn't.
Last year?
No, they didn't.
No, like it's a spin-off game.
No, it's probably some gacha or some bullshit.
No, it's a Switch game. Oh, it's how all of the Danganronpa post games have had like this board game thing you could do.
Oh, it's just that.
No, they've done that, but like a fully fleshed out like Mario Party style game.
Oh, that's cool. Regardless, I needed to do the content of this video, please.
No, I refuse. Instead, we're going to talk about Danganronpa, a series that you hate.
I like it. Okay, let's talk about how, I don't know. I don't
so apparently they get Jabba coins.
I want to kind of talk about... No, I'm not going to talk about V3. I'm good. As much as I like it.
You're going to talk about V3?
I love V3.
Does that mean instead we're going to drop the V?
I love V3.
We're going to drop the V, we're just going to talk about Danganronpa 3?
Oh, you're getting started. No! That's the worst.
I'm just gonna jump dance around it.
If you like the Danganronpa anime, I need to say this. If you like the Danganronpa anime, you're a bad fucking person, and I hate you.
Okay.
Anyway,
that was a bit coarser than it could have been. I think you're gonna say
I'm not wrong.
The swearing.
I'm not wrong.
So, anyways, you dropped 3 of the Pokemon.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I need to talk about
pile of garbage.
Yeah, I need to.
They were terrible, and it was a personal mistake.
So basically,
personal failing, a sincere personal failing.
I'd like to talk. So
I refuse to let you talk. Unless it's going to be about Danganronpa and Killer Killer. I think is it called Killer Killer? I don't know. I read it.
Okay, so the problem is, and you've noticed it probably a lot in our ramblings, that for a lot of Pokemon we talked about their priority, and they don't need to use priority, they have it, but as it turns out, when you've got a bunch of team that can kind of sort of use, like, that, uses priority, but doesn't need to use it, and then you've got Psychic Terrain, it's kind of pretty anti-synergistic. Like, you can have one of those mons, but we've got, like, 5. It's not great. Also,
it's okay having like 2 of them, but having multiple Pokemon where one of the main selling points is their priority can be a bit challenging. So
there's also
decided to shrink down to a team format.
Well, I also wanted to say another big problem is that there is actually a lot of anti-priority in the meta, and because there just isn't enough, there's not really that many Pokemon, so they've got pools formats.
I disagree with you justifying their decision. I disagree with their decision.
Okay,
They've done 2 draft pools at 8 and then put them into one schedule. Which means that you could theoretically play 10 teams with anti-priority abilities because there are 2 separate Indeedees, Draft, Broxish, and Serena. I am so fucking glad that Bounsweet and Steenie and Girafarig didn't randomly get them as well. Because I wouldn't put it past them.
That's pretty fucking annoying. That
also,
really
does evolve into Indeedee.
Does what?
Milcery? I never really... It's in the same,
No, I thought Milcery evolved into fucking,
That's right, it was Alcremie.
Yeah.
I never, I was so confused by that thing, 'cause they had Indeedees and Milcerys in, like, the Pokemon centers.
But basically, there's a lot of anti-priority stuff, and I've got there's anti-priority Pokemon in this format. I've got some. It's kind of anti-synergistic, so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get away from it. And I found this cute little combo, and I don't think anyone has ever done this before. This might
no
be.
No one's ever made a video about it.
No.
With Claw.
This might be like, I don't think anyone has ever found this out.
It's definitely not been the focus of Australian content creators in a recent months.
So I've done some data mining, and I found out that there's a very secret, hidden little interaction between 2 Pokemon that were introduced in Gen 9. First one is small little Pokemon called Dondozo, which is the new Groot, replacing Azumarill. There's this.
Sorry, why is Dondozo Groot? Dondozo's a funny chef, man.
Because.
Tree.
Yeah, because Rocket Raccoon rides on top of fucking Groot in the movies, which is what.
He also rides on top of Drax.
Tatsugiri does, and also it's the thing of, like, the sort of larger, stronger guy, and then, like, the smarter, smaller Pokemon.
Star-Lord as well.
Yeah, but, like, there's also...
He's kind of small, he gets on shoulders.
Tatsugiri's tiny. Yeah, but also, like, what I'm saying is, it's the dynamic that you see in a lot of things, like, even, like, stuff like the line...
Did you see which 3 you dropped yet? Because I think you were supposed to start with that.
Well, no, I was going to do it one at a time, but then you said, oi, let's talk about...
I think it makes more sense to holistically talk about which Pokemon we drop.
I dropped Azumarill because at the end of the day, it was, like, a bit too reliant on priority. I dropped...
You're already fairly physically oriented.
That as well.
In terms of your trick abuse.
I dropped Raichu because at the end of the day, I felt like I didn't really need the Lightning Rod. I thought that the sort of utility it gave wasn't really justifying. I couldn't really imagine bringing it to most matchups.
What Medicham did.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine bringing it to a lot of matchups because I think Medicham is, like, if I need a Fake Out Mon, Medicham a lot of the time.
It doesn't learn
what my team wants.
Nothing legally learns it in the format, which is a big thing. So it lost one of its main other things.
And I dropped Glaceon because I got 1 extra point and thought I'd upgrade it to a Pokemon. But anyway, Dondozo. At the end of the day, big guy, strong guy, fun guy. And there's this very secret interaction that I don't think many people have heard of. And it's a combination that I am going to invent.
I think you're getting a little bit fast. We should talk about Dondozo first, right?
Okay.
So, access to Unaware and Waterveil are both really good on this Pokemon because you can, with Unaware, ignore opposing stat boosts, which is really strong, as well as that's in YouTube, unfortunately, ignore opposing stat drops. which is anti-synergy with liquidation because you don't get to take advantage of the defense drop. But luckily, they gave it Wave Crash, 120 base power, water type attacking move, which is great. It appreciates it very strongly.
Oh yeah.
And then
it's got like some other decent sort of physical moves. Very big. It's got Heavy Slam. It's just got a couple of pretty good offensive moves. It's got 150 HP.
It is smaller than
and 100
Max Eternatus.
Yeah, it's got 100.
It's got Earthquake is a decent one.
Yeah.
But you were forgetting it has a signature Dragon type move called Order Up.
Yep.
Which can either give you a +1 attack, +1 defense, or +1 speed, depending on different circumstances. It has Rock Slide, it's another big one.
Yeah,
and Crunch.
Yeah, but it's
Body Press.
It's got 150
and
HP.
115 defense.
Yeah, and then like 65 special defense, so it's pretty. It's gonna get bulky basically if you invest in a little bit. It's really cool.
Or
and
put screens up.
There's this very.
You do have a good screen setup.
Yeah. Do I? Indeedee. Oh yeah, there you go.
In terms of like looking at ladder, all of the Pokemon that are immune to priority, which is to say Indeedee F, Indeedee M, Bruxis, Serena, and Farigiraf all have usage for screens because
that makes sense.
It turns out being able to set screens without being faked out or having to run Covert Cloak, which means you can run Light Clay, is good.
Yeah. But yeah, then there's hidden interaction that the Dondozo has with this Pokemon called Tatsugiri.
It also has access to Curse, and people will Ghost type Curse with it.
That's cool. That's really cool.
West Fork is pretty good. Well, it beats the opposing Dondozo. Most of its text moves and just to beat opposing Dondozos.
But yeah, it's got this very secret combination with Tatsugiri that I don't think anyone's ever discovered until me. And I'm going to call this
also
the...
Fisher. It runs Fisher as well. And Yawn. Yawn's a really
I'm going to call this... You know what? I'm going to call this combo the Dongiri combination. So the Dongiri combination is one no one's ever heard of.
Like sushi? Like just like a thing in sushi.
Yeah, but it also makes sushi out of your opponents. So your Tatsugiri has has this ability called Commander, where if Dondozo and Tatsugiri are together, Dondozo will have its attack, basically all of its stats raised by 2. And then
an extreme Evo boost.
Yeah.
Which used to cost an item and a move slot. Sorry, an item and a turn. Instead, it costs a Pokemon slot.
And Dondozo can't switch out. Attacks aimed at Tatsugiri will miss. I think
they don't get redirected.
I don't think they do get redirected. I think
I'm
also
not sure about
I think
that.
also I think how it works is that EQ, let's say Rock Slide is still going to count as indirect damage. Like it's still going to be halved.
I believe it doesn't.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it's still a spread move.
Yeah, it's still it's in when you have that's pretty cool.
I think that there are like some exploity ways that you can still affect Tatsugiri in terms of like your opponent.
Yeah.
Beyond, it still takes sand or like status damage.
But
the main way people. So one of the key strategies is there are 2 ways that people do it. There's either like the gimmick strategy where you try to kill the Tatsugiri so that the Dondozo can just do it. Though people just can leave them both there and they're really good. The things are the Perish Song or using Endure with a Flame Orb or Toxic Orb so that you still get a second Pokemon in next to the Dondozo. But the alternative is just to use it as like a good Pokemon beforehand. Scarf is a very common way to do that because it's got 120 special attack, I believe.
Yep.
It's one of the strongest special attack stats that is currently legal.
And when Dondozo dies, this thing just pops out and can keep going, yeah?
It doesn't get to move that turn, and it can be hit by moves that turn.
Yeah.
So that is a downside, but it's having a balancing mechanic. I don't think having a balancing mechanic is something this strong is a bad idea.
No. And it's also just got, it also has Storm Drain as well, which is decent because my team's kind of bad into water types. It's not great into water types.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just...
got access to Icy Wind, which is nice.
Just strong, very strong Hydro Pumps.
It's tied for the 16th highest special attack stat with Zoroark and Magneton.
Okay, yeah, it's not bad.
Neither of which are particularly strong.
And yeah, basically, it's just got it's just pretty decent. So it's the Dongiri combination, which is something that I've never heard anyone talk about this, but I think it's gonna be pretty cool.
Tatsugiri lacks great coverage, but its dual stab of Water Dragon's pretty good. I don't think you mentioned that it was a Water Dragon type.
Yeah, it is a Water Dragon type, and Water Dragon is just a very strong type in general.
Speed is not bad, and it's got good special defense at 68, 90, I think it's 90 or 95. It's got pretty mediocre defense at 68, 60, but good defensive typing is always nice, and most fairies are... it's only weak to fairy, right?
Yeah.
No, and dragon.
Oh, yeah,
most fairies... Like, there are a lot of physical dragons in the current format, though they can also run special. But so that is a concern. Most of the fairies in the current format are special.
Yeah.
That said, Terra Blast Fairy is popular, including on physical attackers.
Yeah.
And then you decided that you would get the only good Pokemon in the history of competitive Pokemon.
Yeah, then because I had an extra point left, I decided to turn Glaceon into Brambleghast because it was 4 points. And I think it kind of works pretty well with the Tailwind option.
Yeah, to figure out how the other mod was obtainable in the game.
Oh yeah, so basically I was going to have Morwell because Intimidate's cool, the Fairy type's cool.
It's just unobtainable. I don't know why it was on.
Turns out...
It's not in the Pokédex. It's also not obtainable, so I don't understand why it...
Okay, that's weird.
Rocked up. But you know what? That just happens sometimes.
Okay, yeah, it was just... Morwell was on the dock for some reason, and I was going to get it, and then I brought it in, and they're like, oh, you can't use it, so I just pivoted to Brambleghast. Because it's 4 points, and for 4 points this Pokemon is pretty strong.
It's really good. I believe it was the kill leader in on both of the teams it was drafted on in the lower div. It's immune to Icy Wind, Hurricane, Blizzard, Heat Wave, a couple other moves that I cannot remember off the top of my head.
Like Air Cutter, that sort of thing. It gets +1 attack when you use Tailwind.
Yeah, and it gets +1 attack whenever it's hit by those, as well as when either player uses Tailwind, or is it just the partner?
I think it might just be the partner. It might be either player, because it says it's immune to Tailwind in the description for Wind Rider. Yeah, that's pretty freaking good.
6 kills in one set.
That's pretty freaking good, and it kind of plays into the sort of tail room team.
That said, only Phantom Pulse. And Shadow Sneak, no Shadow Claw.
No Shadow Claw, that is annoying.
Grass Move, good.
Yeah. Grass Moves are okay.
You didn't have a Grass type yet, so it is nice to have something that is immune to Spore and Rage Powder.
Yeah.
And ultimately, you have one big happy family.
Yeah.
Apparently on all the Ninetales, though I don't remember you drafting that, and yet it still seems to be part of the...
yeah, so basically this is my team, now that it's finished. Tatsugiri combo is going to Tatsugiri Dondozo. Yeah.
The Doze, as some call them.
That's pretty good.
Though only you, as you're the only person who ever used these in VGC.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, Dondozo is a famously solid Pokemon in OU right now with its unaware sets. It's
I'm not surprised. Consistent. But yeah, I think this is a pretty decent tail.
Sorry, I thought you didn't actually know that.
Oh no, I mean, I kind of knew it was okay.
Yeah. It also is Oblivious, but that's not as relevant. You don't really care that much about Intimidate, and Haunt is not as significant, though it can be a problem.
Yeah.
But I believe that one of the most consistent counters I've seen to that's Dozo is having 3 Fake Out mons, and then just switching every turn and clicking Fake Out into it every turn until it dies.
Yeah. Well, this is... Fortunately, we have Psychic Terrain. Yeah. Fortunately, we have, if we can kill that, we can do the Tatsugiri...
It's pretty difficult to get the Psychic Terrain.
Well, you do this Tatsugiri, like, kill itself options, you know what I mean?
They only need one of their Pokemon to survive that period.
Yeah, but if you've got...
So you need the... You'd want, I think... Does this Indeedee get healing? I think that's one of the moves. I know one of the Indeedees gets one of them. This one does get Healing Wish.
Yeah.
The other one might get Memento. I know that the Laddies, what the Laddie Ose gets it. No, they both get Healing Wish. I'm just going insane. So you could Healing Wish into it to cure the burn. It can't get.
Regardless,
yeah, there's a lot of theoretical counterplay
options
that it has to anything that you can use to beat it, which is why it's funny. And Hydreigon is also really good, and like the rest of the team is still good on top of having Tatsdozo.
Yeah, I think it's a collection of pretty good mons. Good offensive, just pretty good offensive profile in general. Little physical offensive based, but there's still some hitters, especially
you have Hydreigon, which is very good, and then Tatsugiri is solid, and Indeedee is good.
Yeah, so it's like I've got and we also constantly run Copperajah special.
Yeah, that's true. But I think that's because you have such a physical team.
But I've run it special a lot as well before.
You also had non-physical teams there.
Yeah.
It's because you just like getting big attack stats.
Mm-hmm.
You really like big attack stats. I mean, I guess we did drop Raichu and Glaceon, but Raichu is the same attack and special attack stat, and Glaceon is not always coming to games.
No. But I think this is a pretty decent team in general.
We dropped Azumarill, which does have a higher special attack stat than physical attack stat.
I thought it was the same.
No,
oh yeah, that's right. They buffed it. Yeah, they buffed it in Gen 7 or whatever.
Is that true?
Yeah. No, it didn't originally used to have 60.
It's a weird change. Yeah, no, okay, they gave it plus 10 special attack. I don't know why that was the Pokemon that they wanted to buff of all Pokemon and why that was the buff they gave it. People have joked about the Ariados plus 5 special defense. I think if you gave Azumarill plus 5 special defense, I would cry. I remember when it was briefly in UU in Gen 7,
Did they actually give Ariados plus 5 special defense?
Yeah. That's like the meme one, right? Is the everyone points to it.
No,
the weird buff they did.
It was plus 10.
Sorry, plus 10 special defense. They thought plus 5 wouldn't be impactful enough. And the thing is, it went from 70-70-60 to 70-70-70, which means that it technically is now homogenous and has less of an identity of being more physically offensive. So
but anyway,
just giving it more phys.
Yeah, that's the team. Those are the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, these are the Backyardigans.
Yeah, so
to talk about with Cosmo. Cosmo is literally the cosmonaut space dog from the actual Russians sending a dog into space.
Yeah.
And Rocket is not a raccoon.
No, but regardless, Rocket's the raccoon because it's the classic, it's the same sort of archetype that Dondozo and Tatsugiri have, the larger, stronger one, and then the smaller, more sort of socially dominant one, which is
someone say that
pretty standard.
The most popular character of the 1990s. How do you feel about that statement?
I'm not actually that surprised, to be honest.
No, the problem is that it's a stupid statement because Bart Simpson was popular before and after the 1990s.
Yeah, or it's specifically in the 90s, okay. I don't know what that has to do with this video, but yeah.
I was trying to think of ending line.
Oh, okay.
Something weird.
Here's an ending line. I've got an ending line for you. Get the fuck out of my YouTube channel and out of my house and out of my
subscribe to my YouTube channel and also leave a like and comment on my videos.
But don't leave a like and comment, scroll, or don't leave one. But talk about how much you hated this entire experience. And yeah.
Remember, the more detail you put in, the more people will be able to see the video.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway,
Top Battle Guild out.
Good night.